Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So you can start reading and at the beginning of the chapter.
Chapter 11. The Universal Form. Text 1. Arjun said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. Text 2. O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. Text 3. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. Text 4. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. Text 5. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjun, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms. Text 6.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
hold there.
Yes, please.
All right, so this is basically in the first four verses, Arjuna is talking about the instructions he heard before, and basically what it is said here. Is that Lord Krishna grants Arjuna divine vision and reveals his spectacular unlimited form as the cosmic universe. Thus he conclusively establishes his divinity. Krishna explains that his own all-beautiful human-like form is the original form of Godhead. One can perceive this form only by pure devotional service. And here it is said, this chapter reveals that Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the cause even of Mahavishnu. And that's actually right in here. Yeah, Krishna is not an incarnation, he is the source of all incarnations, and this has been completely explained in the last chapter. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, a friend of his, but as the source of everything. Arjuna is very enlightened and is glad that he has such a great friend as Krishna. But now he is thinking that although he may accept Krishna as the source of everything, others may not. So in order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he is requesting Krishna in this chapter to show his universal form. Actually, when one sees the universal form of Krishna, one becomes frightened like Arjuna. But Krishna is so kind that after showing it, he converts himself again into his original form. Arjuna agrees to what Krishna has several times said. Krishna is speaking to him just for his benefit. So Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. He is now convinced that Krishna is the cause of all causes and is present in everyone's heart as the super soul. So he said, I've heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. Though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described, I wish to see you how you have entered into the cosmic manifestation. And if you think I'm able to behold this cosmic form, then kindly show me that unlimited self. Let's see if there's anything in here. Here it said in Bhagavad Gita 10:16, Arjuna asked to hear in detail of Krishna's unlimited opulence. But Krishna gave only 82 examples. Arjuna, having heard but a fragment of Krishna's glories, is now eager to see Krishna's all-pervading form of unlimited opulence. And representing Krishna, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur comments, because you have said, with a single fragment of myself I support this entire universe, I have no problem believing that this is factual. Still, I want to know everything in detail. Actually, Arjuna will gain nothing for himself by seeing the form. Yatha, as it is, means Arjuna already accepts Krishna's two-armed form as supreme. And then he calls Krishna both Purushottam and Parameshwara, the best of personalities and the Supreme Lord. Why then does Arjuna ask to see, as Srila Prabhupada calls it in his purport to 11.8, Krishna's godless display of opulence, a form that devotees generally never wish to see? Srila Prabhupada offers Arjuna's reasons in his purport to texts 1 and 3. Okay, so basically he wants everyone to know, so he's asking the question. And okay, so from text 5, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds and thousands of varied, divine, and multicolored forms. O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of the Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before. Or, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see, or whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely. Then again he says, but you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore I give you divine eyes. And then he says, behold my mystic opulence. And Sanjaya said, O king, having thus spoken, the Supreme Lord of all mystic power, the personality of God, had displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Alright, so the beginning starts at text 10 to 11. So you can read from there, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 10 to 11. Arjun saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared all over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. Text 12. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. Text 13. At that time, Arjun could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe, situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. Text 14. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjun bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. Text 15. Arjun said, My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. Text 16. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. Text 17. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. Text 18. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. Text 19. You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and the moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance.
All right, hold there for a little bit. We can So here it is said in this verse, the word divya is used 4 times in these 2 verses to describe the extraordinary ornaments, weapons, garlands, and fragrances of the universal form. Srila Prabhupada described the word aneka, many, in the purport, showing that Arjuna saw unlimited manifestations and distributed throughout the universe. And here talking about hundreds of thousands of suns would arise at once in the sky. The universal form is wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, and all expanding. And Sanjaya uses a metaphor to compare the effulgence of the Supreme Lord to something imaginable, the simultaneous rising of hundreds of thousands of suns. He does this to aid Dhritarashtra's understanding, as Srila Prabhupada's purport to this verse explains. So then, at that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord unlimited expansions of the universe, situated, although divided into many, many thousands. So situated in one place. And Srila Prabhupada explains the word tatra there is very significant. It indicates that both Arjuna and Krishna were sitting on the chariot when Arjuna saw the universal form. Others on the battlefield could not see this form because Krishna gave the vision only to Arjuna. Arjuna could see in the body of Krishna many thousands of planets. As we learn from Vedic scriptures, there are many universes and many planets. Some of them are made of earth, some are made of gold, some are made of jewels, and some are very great and some are not so great, etc. Sitting on his chariot, Arjuna could see all these, but no one could understand what was going on between Arjuna and Krishna. So, then Arjuna bowed his head. And Baladeva Vibhushan explains that Arjuna in astonishment now sees the universal form. Astonishment or wonder is one of the secondary rasas. Impelled by Krishna's universal form, Arjuna now relishes this rasa. And the universal form is dazzling and radiant, and in text 17, Arjuna describes it as aprameyam, immeasurable, and in text 18, he attempts to describe the immeasurable. The blazing fire coming from the mouth of the universal form is burning this entire universe. This is the beginning of the description of Krishna's Kala Rupa, his formless time, and the description continues through text 30. So, um, all right, so let me read a little bit here. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky, and the planets and all space between, O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. All the hosts of the demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. And all the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, Sadhyas, and the Vishvadevas, the two Ashvis, the Maruts, and the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. As they are disturbed, so am I. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions I am bewildered. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. So, as the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all those great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. So then in the next verse, Arjuna is offering obeisances, asking who he is. And so Arjuna becomes afraid, and his mood here changes from astonishment to fear when he sees all these arms, thighs, legs, bellies, there are many terrible teeth. And the fire of death mentioned here to describe the universal forms blazing death-like faces is the fire of destruction at the end of the universe. And text 26 through 30 describe future occurrences that Arjuna sees within the Kala Rupa. In Bhagavad Gita 11:7, Arjuna says that he could see whatever he may want to see in the future. In these texts, Arjuna sees that Bhishma, Drona, and Karna, the three most feared members of the opposing army, will be destroyed. And then Sri Baladev Vijayabhushan describes the significance of these two analogies. Waves of the river flowing into the ocean, and moths entering into fire, which depict distinct entrances by different warriors into the blazing mouths. Rivers flow into the ocean naturally without intentional effort, and moths consciously enter the fire and perish. Some of the warriors, by their demoniac behavior, are consciously destroying themselves. So then he says, here Arjuna describes the universal form effulgence that's covering this universe. It is inescapable and all-pervading. And then Arjuna next asks two questions. So the universal form of the Lord is very frightening. It's not something that we can quite easily take a look at because Arjuna was a great warrior and he was fearless in battle. Of course, he was disturbed by the situation at the beginning of the battle, and that's when he spoke to Krishna. But now he's asking to see the universal form. Now, the universal form is something that devotees don't normally want to see. They prefer to see the two-armed form of the Supreme Lord. But they don't even care to see the four-armed form of Vishnu. Of course, they don't disrespect that four-armed form of Vishnu, but they take shelter of the two-armed form of Krishna. So we'll see here Arjuna asking him some questions. All right. So, O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious unto me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. And 32 is the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds. I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. So he's explaining who he is, that he's Time, the great destroyer of worlds, and his reason for coming there is to destroy all the people. So that's an answer to the question that Arjuna asked. So he asked, who are you and what is your mission? And so then this is the Kala Rupa, the form of time. Time I am, the great destroyer of worlds. So like many people try to enjoy in the material world, but their enjoyment is eventually stopped by time. Because even though they have all facilities to enjoy, still with the passage of time, their ability to enjoy is reduced. And then finally, they can't enjoy anymore, but sometimes they just sit and think of enjoying. So that Kala Rupa, the mission of the Kala Rupa is the destruction of the soldiers, and so in the material world it's the destruction of everyone. And Srila Prabhupada writes, the Lord is saying that even if Arjuna did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed, for that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. So death cannot be checked even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. So Arjuna is seeing the universal form, but he is seeing things that has not happened yet. So he's seeing the future here. And Arjuna cannot save anyone's life by not fighting, but he had the choice whether or not to participate in the battle. Krishna, however, wants Arjuna to perform his duty. Even though the opposition is already dead, he wishes Arjuna to fight as an instrument. Okay, so let's see here. Alright, so 33. Alright, so you can start reading from 33, Prabhu.
Next 33. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savya Sachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. Text 34. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Sanjay, text 35. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjun offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Text 36. Arjun said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Text 37. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Text 32. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material world. O limitless one, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. You are air, and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything.
All right. So you can hold that. So we're going to this. So in these last verses, well, we started at 33. So he's telling Arjuna, prepare to fight and win glory, because all the warriors, they're already dead. It's just that Krishna wants Arjuna to fight in the battle. And in that way, Arjuna will be fulfilling Krishna's desire. So, and he called him Savyasachin. Savyasachin also means one who can fight ambidextrously with either hand, left or right. Krishna therefore encourages Arjuna now to use his skills, all his skills to fight without pride, because Purameva, by previous arrangement, not because of Arjuna's skills, the warriors are as good as dead. So here, if we understand that everything is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can become free from the pride of doing anything perfectly or in such a nice way, because it's already arranged by Krishna. And even if we think it's not arranged by Krishna, still we should know that Krishna is the ability in man, and he is able to give us the ability to perform all kinds of activities. So in the beginning, 2.6, Arjuna expressed his uncertainty as to what to do, who will win the battle. And here Krishna said, you will conquer, to certify that Arjuna will be victorious. And Krishna also adds Jayadratha's name to the three warriors already mentioned in text 26. Although he is not as powerful to the others, Jayadratha was given a boon by Lord Shiva to be able to stop the Pandavas once. Because Arjuna knows this, he is concerned about Jayadratha. Krishna assures Arjuna that his concern is unwarranted. And then Sanjaya then introduces a change of speakers. So after hearing these words, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice. Here it says that Arjuna is called Kiriti because he often wore a brilliant celestial helmet by that name given to him by Indra after Arjuna defeated Indra's enemies. Although Arjuna possessed so much power, he stood afraid and trembled in the presence of the universal form. Yet valiant Arjuna remained able to speak. So then in text 36 says, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name. And in this, the first 11 verses of prayers, Arjuna describes both the fearful and pleasing features of the universal form. So we stopped at 40. Okay, so let's go ahead. Which one did we stop at?
Probably text 41, 42. That's the next one to do.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Alright, so thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, live on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone, and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. And then he says, you are the father of this cosmic manifestation, of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you. Nor can anyone be one with you. How then can there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? You are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. So here, he's offering prayers to Krishna, and then at this point in time, he says he doesn't want to see the universal form. He wants to see the original. He wants to see the four-armed form of the Lord with helmeted head, club, wheel. So he said, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form with the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. So once when Mother Yashoda was told that Krishna ate dirt, she asked him to open his mouth. And when he opened his mouth, she saw the entire universe in the mouth of Krishna. And she practically fainted by seeing that. So by reading the scriptures, we have an idea that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. but how great he is, how encompassing he is, and how fearful he is. We are getting a little idea of that by reading this chapter, vision of the universal form. So many people, they don't fear the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they don't understand his position and who he actually is. They think that, okay, he's God, we can just ask him for what we want and he'll willingly supply. So Prabhupada calls that the order supplier. So he's not just the order supplier, but he's the origin, he's the absolute personality, and he's arranging everything that's happening in this world or in all of these universes. This is one universe, but there are many, many other universes which are larger in size. And Krishna is arranging everything within all these universes. How great the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. How long will it take us to understand how great he is? So this year, by the understanding of Arjuna, we can see that Arjuna was gladdened, but at the same time he was disturbed with fear when he looked at the universal form of the Lord. And now he's asking to see the personality of Godhead as he is. All right, so you can go ahead and read from there.
Text 46.
Yeah.
O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head, and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Text 47. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, happily have I shown you, by my internal potency, this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. 48. O best of the true warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. Text 49. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Text 50. Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjun, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjun. Text 51. When Arjun thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardhan, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature.
All right. You can hold that. So here he's saying that now he says, happily I have shown you by my eternal potency the supreme universal form within this material world. He mentions, however, that no one before has seen this form. So Krishna's display of the universal form indicates that it is not supreme. Rather, it is contained within Krishna's two-armed form. Arjuna was unable to see it previously because of Krishna's internal energy. His Yogamaya covered Arjuna's vision. Krishna has already declared at the end of chapter 10 that he, not his universal form, is supreme. Ekam Chaina Stito Jagat. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So he says that what he's seeing there is just a fragment of himself. And then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Krishna now asked Arjuna a question. My dear Arjuna, at your request, I showed you this partial expansion of mind, the Virat Purusha. So why has your mind now become disturbed? And why are you saying to me, please be kind to me, and requesting me to show my human form? Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his purport that the universal form seen by Arjuna is different from the one shown to Duryodhana. The form Duryodhana displayed neither the same effulgence nor possessed the Kala feature. And Krishna himself confirms in the next verse the uniqueness of the form he showed to Arjuna. So, let's see here. Okay, so at 49 now he's saying, you have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Let it be finished. My devotee, be free from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. And then Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form, and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardhan, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that no one can see me as I am. So, my dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, and can be best seen directly. Only in this way you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding. And my dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service free from contaminations or fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So this is the one here, 1154. This is a famous verse also. And that bhaktya tvananyaya sakya aham eva vidurjuna gyantum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So, to see Krishna as he is, in that form, is a very great boon. And by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the devotees, we are able to envisage that form within our minds, within our hearts. We can take a look at that supreme form. So he is saying that hardly anyone can see that. Even the demigods are always ever seeking the opportunity to see this form which is so there. And the form you're seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship, but is only by undivided devotional service that he can be understood. So this ends the chapter on the universal form, and we're running a little bit over time. Do you have any realizations, questions, or comments, anything like that coming up?
It's very good. I mean, this chapter was really good. I mean, that Lord Krishna. I mean, he's merciful. Even I mean, he's actually one thing very slightly I would say is like Arjun is asking Lord Krishna to show the universal form. Then he gets fearful. Then he's asking Lord Krishna to show him his four-armed form, and then so and Lord Krishna is kind of is obliging him as the devotee wants. So it's kind of that it kind of shows that relationship that Lord Krishna is so kind and merciful to the devotee that he will basically fulfill his desires. I mean, as the devotee wants to see him, he's fulfilling his desires. So it's just very nice that. Prabhuji, you are on mute. I don't know if you are saying something.
Okay. Yeah, so Krishna gives Arjuna five powerful instructions here. Bhakti must perform purely, that's mad bhakta. Bhakti must be free from karma and gyan, Sanga varjita. And the work of the bhaktas must be solely for Krishna, mat karma krit. And Krishna must be the goal of life, mat karma. And the devotee must be friendly to all, nirvaira. He must compassionately desire to give Krishna consciousness to others. So these are the five things that uh, in this verse here. He who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So this is the breakdown of that verse here. All right, so I think we can stop here tonight, and at this point in time, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Hari 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 Bol.